All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to hear the music. Tomorrow, Nvidia earnings. See, Nvidia back up to, back up green on the day over the 140 level still. Yep. Guessing the market's going to be neutral. We had two green. We were green in both of our. All right, we're going to do a poll. Do we get choppiness or will the market stay choppy today ahead of Nvidia earnings tomorrow? Yes. Choppy. No. Vote on that poll. Let me know how you guys think. My mic. Okay, sound check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. We'll get it fixed. We got another mic we could swap out for it if we really need to. But let me know if this is better. What's up, Beach Bum? What's up, Radical 75, Arif, T, M, Joshua, Blaze, Sam, Lost, Ray. Good morning, guys. All right, it's good. All right, cool. All right, guys, so yeah, we're here. Tesla getting a little volatility this morning. I'm wondering if it has any Walmart did post earnings today. Walmart posted 58 cents EPS versus 53 cents expected. Revenue of 169.59 versus 167.68 billion expected. So better than expected EPS and revenue. Yeah, let's hope we get a parabolic run. But yeah, Walmart had earnings today. I think we also had Medtronic. We'll put those up on screen. MDT stock. It showed up 126 versus 125. Revenue of 8.4 versus 8.27 expected. I'm looking at some other news here. See if we can find anything good. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Airbus CEO's talking about some stuff. We also have we got building permits and housing start data coming out. It's not a big release, but it's something. My life is Walmart. Yeah. All right, guys. Tesla right at the middle. Honestly, man, I don't know how to feel. So I go to jiu-jitsu last night, right? And like I talked to some of my coaches about this too. Like I go to jiu-jitsu last night. And they've got this freaking, like, I don't know how, this kid, he's got to be like 20. He's like a younger guy. And like, I've trained with them before. And like, everybody in our gym is like, hey, that dude holds on to, that dude refuses to tap. He like holds on way too long before just kind of giving up and tapping. Like in jiu-jitsu, if you're getting arm barred and your arm's like straight extended, you should be tapping immediately, right? Like not unless you're trying to compete for like IBJJF or something like that, or like Naga or something. You should never like let your arm be fully extended without tapping, right? And so I've rolled with this guy a couple times before, and every time he makes a scene. I've rolled with him twice before. Literally every time I roll with this guy, I armbar him. It's like the same thing that happens every time I armbar him. He sits on the ground and he holds his arm and he's like, ugh, and he like causes this big scene at the gym, like I'm like hurting him, you know. And so I shouldn't have even rolled with him. I'm never gonna roll with this kid again. So yeah, last night same thing happens. You know, we roll. I armbar him, and I even like let up a little bit. Like I had his arm fully extended, and I gave him a second to tap, and just waited. And he, sure enough, just didn't tap. And so I just kind of pulled on it just a little bit, just to try to be like, all right, bro. And he does the same thing, but he causes like the biggest scene ever. He falls on the ground and he's like, oh, you know, and he lays on the ground for like 5 minutes. And so I go up to him and like apologize. I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, you know, and he like doesn't say anything and gets up and walks off all like pouty. I'm sitting there like, dude, this is not the sport for you, brother. Like, this dude's been training just as long as me, you know. Yeah, this ain't the sport for him. He should just stop. Even though I walk long gold. Where is gold at this morning? I see super micros all the way back up to 27s. Super micro semiconductors all the way back up to 27s here. Yeah, it's definitely one of the worst arm bars in the world, but he's definitely one of the worst tappers in the world as well. Again, I'll never roll with him again. You know, just honestly, he gets his pride in the way. He should be tapping way earlier, and he doesn't. And then when he doesn't, and he taps late, then he complains and makes a big deal. And like, he's just, again, he just seems like, for lack of a better word, like weak, sensitive, and you know. Cheers. Yeah, super micro back up to $27 a share. $27 a share. Again, Tesla almost back up to 340s. It's trying to get up there. Nvidia slightly green on the day. You can see this light blue line is the previous closing price for Nvidia. You can kind of see it here for Tesla as well. They're trying to go up. Nvidia technically green on the day. Tesla technically red on the day. So it's the day before Nvidia earnings, guys. It's a big day. Super micro news. Okay, gotcha. Let me check it out. I haven't pulled up Discord. All right, so I'm looking at some news here. Nestle, Lowe's. All right, so Supermicro files a plan for its delayed reports and names a new auditor, and the stock soars 40%. So basically, Supermicro filed a plan. I told you guys yesterday that Supermicro Semiconductors, SMCI, had reported that they were going to drop their plan yesterday, and they did. So late yesterday, they said it gave the NASDAQ a, quote, compliance plan to support its request for a filing extension in order to keep it listed. And they also announced a new auditor. It will remain listed pending the plan's review, and the stock is up almost 40% on this news. Again, it's up to 27. Hit 32s earlier this morning, but yeah, yesterday it was at 20. Now it's at 27. So honestly, that's more than 40%. If you're at 20 and you go up basically $10 a share, right? That's a 50% gain. So if you go up to 32, it's over 50%. So yeah, at 27, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's 40%. But yeah, it's good news for Supermicro Semiconductors. If we put it up on screen here. Again, it's ripping up this morning, ripping up microchip news. And this is ahead of Nvidia earnings tomorrow, which is massive. Nvidia earnings are absolutely massive. So again, Supermicro Semiconductors just hired a new auditor. And they say that might ultimately save them from getting the boot from the NASDAQ. BDO is the new auditor. Supermicro submitted a plan. A spokesperson from Supermicro told Fortune in a statement, quote, as we previously disclosed, Supermicro intends to take all necessary steps to achieve compliance with NASDAQ continued listing requirements as soon as possible, end quote. Charles Lang welcomed its new auditor, BDO USA, on Monday. They said, quote, BDO is a highly respected accounting firm with global capabilities. This is an important next step to bring our financial statements current, an effort we are pursuing with both diligence and urgency, end quote. So is Supermicro Semiconductors out of the woods right now? Is it out the woods finally on this report? Yeah, I mean, AT says my viewership dropped since I'm showing my HUD only. No, it hasn't. My viewership actually went up a little bit. Like yesterday, we had no economic data, and we had almost 600 people here, right? Like my normal streams don't typically get a bunch. Like, we get like, I mean, it depends on what you call a bunch. It's all relative, right? But during big economic days, like payroll data, we had almost 3,000 people. We certainly didn't drop views. Like, look, yeah, I mean, we started the stream 6 minutes ago. We got over 200 people here, so that's definitely better than normal for sure. 100% better than normal. I've never seen you before though, you know. So, but yeah. But just to clarify, my views are actually pretty solid. Like CPI, we got about 20 something thousand, 24,000 when you take into consideration both of them. PPI, we got 10,000. Yeah, I mean, we're still doing pretty good for views. I like the again, you could say it's weird, but I've never seen you before, and I think really it allows me to like show the full charts. Like, I don't have to worry about me blocking charts. That's a big thing where it's just easier to not block the charts. But again, you can have your opinion. That's fine. Yeah, found the hater. Yeah. Yeah, so they are giving a reset. Love tuning in every morning. Hey, thanks so much, Dustin. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, I see BKKT up on some news here this morning, too. BKKT making a big run, a big move up to 34s almost. Again, I saw this news that, let me see what the news was for BKKT. But yeah, look at coming from somebody that genuinely watches my views. My viewership's actually up from the bobblehead floating head. So my viewership's actually increased, not decreased. So shout out to the floating head. But yeah, the BKKT news, it has to do with politics. Potential buyout, I think is what the news is. Alright guys, so again, we got Nvidia at 142s. Let's see if it holds. Yeah, dude, also the weirdo messaged texted my wife yesterday. You know, he acted like, so I don't know if I've ever told you guys the Scott story. I think I have multiple times, and it's probably good that I tell you guys the Scott story so that you guys understand. So if anything weird ever does happen, you know, y'all know. But yeah, we had this neighbor Scott that became really infatuated with my wife Carol in a really uncomfortable way. Carol came to me and said, hey, look at these text messages he's sending me. This is strange. And so we started like distancing ourselves from this neighbor. And right, and as we started distancing ourselves from, and this is like an old man, he kind of looks like Santa Claus. He's pretty short, right? He's like a short old man. He kind of looks like Santa Claus. Like old, you know, gray beard, you know. But you could tell he's like really old, but he like really wants to be cool, you know. Anyways, so he became really infatuated with my wife, mostly after she went on the United Airlines news story that I've showed you guys before, right? So she went on that news story, and apparently he got all excited because she was pretty or something, and then like became really infatuated, and then we started to distance ourselves from him, and then the more we distance ourselves from him, the weirder he got, right? You can tell he's somebody that just doesn't have much going on, and it really goes to show, like if you're a female, you can't be nice to old people because they will take it the wrong way and immediately start thinking they've got a chance. You know, but yeah, he sent her a text message yesterday, basically like it was a group text inviting everybody to the neighborhood party of some sort, and like she immediately came to me and said, oh no, look. And so we just blocked him. Like we should have blocked him a long time ago. I think we didn't block him so that we could kind of watch him to see what's going on. But just super strange old guy, man. Just odd, just very weird and kind of like desperate and just strange, unfortunately. Let me see. So when his Walmart calls. Hey, what's up, Jan? What's up, Jan? Okay. Yeah, so it's a longer story. So he used to be our neighbor, and my wife has all of our neighbors' phone numbers because they're our neighbors. We lived in a cul-de-sac, and they were our neighbors. Like we knew all of them, you know, and we had all our neighbors' numbers just to be friendly with them, just so like they could take our trash cans out. He never took our trash cans out, but we had a group of neighbors. We had what we called Barbie and Ken, and then we had our Puerto Rican neighbor who was really nice, always had some good food, and then we had some other guy, and then yeah. But the point is, we had his number from that. But my wife's the one that came to me, showing me some of these text messages, being like, "Hey, look at these," right? And so she came to me. Kind of weirded out by some of them, and they weren't like super like they were plausibly deniable, right? He was being weird, but he wanted to be able to deny it if we kind of, so we just distanced ourselves from him. Yeah, it's just odd. Yeah. All right, Nvidia at 142.10s. What's the over-under, Pawn? You might know what over-under I'm talking about. Yeah. What's the over-under? I give it a... I would say the odds are probably about minus 300. Yeah. All right. Sydney Triangle on Nvidia. Yeah, no, it's a longer story. Again, you guys, you can't really be nice to old people, bro. Like, the most strange thing about this guy, right? This is like a 70-year-old old man. Right, when he was, some of the messages, we were reading them yesterday, my wife and I were reading them yesterday, when he would reference his wife, he would say, my girl. He'd be like, yeah, my girl goes to the store. And it's like, you mean your wife goes to the store, bro? Like, you're 75 years old. Like, your girl? Like, get out of here, dude. Like, I get it, you're trying to act young. You're not young. We don't relate to you. Like, go away, bro. Like, you're strange to me. No offense. Listen, y'all can, again, I'm not trying to hate on this guy, but he's just incredibly strange and weird, and you know. Ascending triangle to Nvidia. Yeah, I don't know, man. Nvidia just looks choppy. Now we're at, like, we do have this, we're testing the top of this range. You know, we have this double top up here, but to be honest, it just looks flat. Like, it just looks kind of rectangular here and sideways. It looks kind of just neutral. No, old people are generally pretty nice, you know. My grandparents were nice people, you know. E-mini similar, 59.10 to 18. Hey, what's up, Alvin? Good morning, good morning. All right, so 76% of people, we did a vote, will the market stay choppy ahead of Nvidia earnings tomorrow? 76% of people, 75% of people say yes. I tend to agree. I think the market's going to be flat or boring today leading into this. If we look at futures, the futures market here, here's Bitcoin up to 93. I didn't even see this, guys. Bitcoin up to 93,000 today. This is Bitcoin futures, so really Bitcoin's up to about 92K. Right now, 92K, you can kind of see the highs are at about 93. So we're at about 92,000 for Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin running up some this morning. Would y'all rather 3 charts or 2 charts up here? Here's the NASDAQ. We're at 20.68. Yeah, 100% Faye. Just some of the old man, like, again, I think if they don't have much going on, right? Like, they it's kind of like a dopamine detox, if you will, where like if you don't get that much attention, somebody being nice to you, you might misinterpret that as something else, and just kind of, yeah. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. Honestly, lesson learned for us. Like, we don't want to know any of our neighbors here now. We kind of just avoid them. Although most of our neighbors are really chill. Like, my family has really good memories around our neighbors, except for him, right? Like, all of our neighbors were really nice. We used to play softball and like wiffle ball in the cul-de-sac and like go over, and they would give us food, and we did like Santa Claus for my kids when they were young. One of my neighbors, we called him the Judge. We gave everybody nicknames. We had Barbie and Ken. We had the Judge. We had Scott the freaking weirdo. And so they were mostly, we have some good memories with them, except for Scott the weirdo, unfortunately. Super Micro move yesterday. Yeah, Super Micro's up big. You know, the question is, do you buy in now? I don't know. I think it's too risky. I think there's a lot of time left in this thing, and there's a lot of risk. What's 5 minutes? Oh, what's the over under? 5 minutes? Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. I'm gonna go with 10. I'm gonna go with 10. Nah, I'm not gonna talk about it all day. No, he never played softball with us. He'd break his hip, you know. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He probably knows pawn. Alright. I love poker. I'm doing the World Series of Poker in 2025 as well. I have to. That's been a bucket list thing. Every year my wife plans like a vacation around it, unfortunately. But I'm doing it this year. I'm doing it. I make enough money to do it now. I'm doing it. All right, guys, we got 330 people here already. We only started streaming 20 minutes ago, so hey, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Nvidia earnings. We also have import-export prices, to be honest, today. So I might, or no, we got building permits and housing starts. So let's see. All right, guys. So yeah, we got building permits and housing start data. I'm gonna put this up on the stream real quick. All right, guys. So let me copy this and paste. All right, let me take this. So we got our pre-market stream here. There we go. Yeah, we got building permit and housing start data. It's a bunch of fun, dude. Gotta go. I go every year. Only done the main event twice. We'll play the next year in the main, though. The cash games are juicy. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to just, like, I just want to go. I love poker. Poker's what got me into trading because there's a lot of similarities in it. Look at Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin might break lifetime highs this morning. It's getting up there. Nvidia up there as well. We're gonna start day trading some too. Although we did really well after the open. So my day trading does much better after the opening bell. Prior to the opening bell, we really don't do that good. But like, look at my trading results after the bell here, chat. So like, look at some of this. Like we killed it yesterday. Look at that. Like, look at my stats. $100, $85, $85, $20 loss, $30, $15, $60, $50. We lost 60, we lost 85, we lost 72, we made 5, 40, 10, 450. I think I might have done better on the other account, but yeah, let me see. Yeah, we did better, much better on our other account. So that was one account we ended green on. Here was the other. 120, 90, 50, 35, 20, 15, 13. We lost 100, so we did pretty good on both of them. We're gonna see if we can day trade this morning. I'm gonna trade micros though this morning, so I'm not gonna trade a lot. Like we gotta trade micros this morning here, chat. See, we got this trend break. If we start to break under this 200 EMA though, so like you can kind of see the 200 exponential right here. Yeah, so you can kind of see the 200 exponential right here. If we start to break under this, we'll short for sure, because we got this double top right here, and I think that double top just looks really obvious if we can. Alright, so we're sitting tight here. We're sitting tight. Again, I want to see. I will short this if we get some better price action. I'm gonna buy one of these though. We'll take 4 contracts here. See if we can ride it up. There we go. You'd love to see it. All right, so we just made a little $20 there buying that dip. We got that candle wick fill extension that we look for. Yeah, good luck, Jan. I just started another Top Step account last week. Would it be a thing if you would just check dashboards of viewers? Well, I'll do a rundown at the end of the day. So yeah, we'll do a rundown by the end of the day. We'll do a rundown, see what everybody's stats are. Again, Nvidia is still... I'm betting on choppiness this morning. Like, I think we have to have choppiness. Alright, so we're down some here. Okay, if we break under this 200 exponential, I'm shorting. Y'all do me a favor, bump that like button, guys. Let me hit 500 likes today if we can. Maybe 500. Maybe let's go for 400. I'm gonna shoot for 400. This is my newest account. Just try some different strats here. Yeah, so these candle wick strats, these scalping strategies have been really, really good. Really, really good. And I've tried to detail some of them before. But right now we've got a completely sideways trend, like a completely sideways trend. So, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small size here of about 2 contracts, and we're just going to leave it and see if we can get a longer term trade. Like we have this double top, and so I'm assuming that we're going to eventually come back down and break under this 200 EMA here, but we also have a cushion that we built up on the day already, and so we can try to be patient. We do have building permit and housing start data dropping in about 20 minutes. It's not the biggest release, be honest, but it's something. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, Pawn. Or that's a good idea about the dashboard. Maybe I can do that later. So is the music good? Is the music clear? It should be. Hello from South Africa. Yeah, so join our Discord, guys. Our Discord's completely free. Doesn't cost anything. We're trying to build this up. Yeah, so we're trying to build up our Discord, if you haven't already. So, you know, we can do polls. So again, if you have not already checked out our Discord, completely free. Completely free. We're kind of building it up now, so check it out. Here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. There's the Discord link. Join. You can also follow me on Twitter at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades. Beginner TRADES. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Kimberly. We already got it. It's all good. Yeah, at our Discord, we've got like a news section too, so you can like watch a new, like see what the big news stories of the day are. We're gonna try to do like an update there. All right, so we got our little 2 contract position here, a little 2 contract position. I'm trying to let it work. I'm trying to let it work. If it doesn't, it's okay. We do have the 200 exponential right under me, but it's I'm trying to let this be a longer term trade, if that makes sense, because yeah, I think we've already tested the 200 exponential once. And I think we have a double top up here as well. And so I think if we're going to be choppy today, what it would mean is a fall down under the 200 exponential. And so we'll see. I hate Robinhood, bought Supermicro, then they split. Weird showing. Yeah, it's all good. Maria, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing good. We got 20 minutes, chat. 20 minutes. The question is, do I want to just cut this or do I want to add to this? I don't think I want to add to it. I think that's too much risk. I'd rather just wait. And yeah, it looks like it's the right move here. Look at that. I could add to it now that we have some confirmation here, but I think I'm just going to leave it alone. 2 contracts is not the biggest position. It's small. And so we're just trying to let it work some. We'll trade larger closer to the open. Again, building permit housing start data drops in 15 minutes. All right, look at that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lock a piece of this in already. So we got the big gain that we wanted. We will potentially add back to this if we start to really drop under the 200 exponential like we want to. Honestly, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've started tweaking our trading a lot. And the results have been very good. The results have been very good. I'm going to go ahead and add my size back here. There we go. Gonna go ahead and lock another piece of that in. So we built up a decent little profit here already. We'll try to hold the rest break even if we can break down some and then maybe add back. I do think we're gonna break under the 200 exponential, but I don't want to hold it too long. Yeah, we'll go ahead and cut that. All right, so not bad. We made 612. Yeah, we made a good bit from that. We'll see if we can find another entry. I still want to play the same thing here. So I still want to play the same thing. Explain the silver bullet strategy. I've never really heard of it, Eric. Walmart earnings. Yeah, Walmart posted earnings already. So Walmart showed a beat EPS, a beat in revenue. They're actually doing their earnings call right now. So the Walmart CEO, let's put this up. So here's Walmart. Walmart's gapping up to $88 a share, $87 a share. Walmart CEO says price remains steady in the latest quarter conference call. The CEO says East Coast port strikes and storms impacted operating income growth negatively in quarter 3. So you can kind of see that here. But yeah, Walmart BDPS beat revenue. I'll have to go find their actual numbers here, but I know they BDPS beat revenue. We posted it a little bit earlier in the chat. Lowe's also posted 289 EPS versus 282 expected, revenue of 21.17. You can see that right there on the screen if you haven't already. Walmart posted... I'm trying to find Walmart. Well, I know Walmart BDPSB revenue. Yeah. All right. So look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting very close. Bitcoin's at like 92.5 thousand. Walmart moving up. Supermicro up big today. Here's Nvidia. So a lot of craziness. We play earnings almost all the time, Connor. So like earnings are some of our favorite plays. And again, what I'll typically do for earnings is, you know, it's not going to happen every time. But an example of this is if, let's say, I'm just going to use this as an example, right? So let's say Walmart, instead of gapping up here, gapped down a significant amount, like a big percentage, and gapped down a large amount, right? If Walmart did gap down a significant amount, what I would do is I would buy the dip. As long, it depends on what the earnings report shows. Like let's say Walmart BDPS beat revenue, neutral guidance, and then gap down 10%, you know, or like, you know, went down 10% in pre-market extended hours trading. What I like to do in that situation is I like to actually buy up Walmart on that big pullback. I buy up Walmart on that big pullback. A lot of the time I do this with tech stocks more often than stuff like Walmart, but the point still remains. I buy up Walmart on that big pullback, and then if I'm wrong short term, like in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, it doesn't do what I want it to do, I'll either DCA into it more and sit on it as a long-term investment, or I'll just leave it alone and wait. And in general, if I'm picking the right stocks, right, you have to do this with like blue chip healthy companies. It can't be like, you can't do this with mid caps that are super speculative and weak. It has to be blue chip healthy companies, right? As long as you do this with blue chip healthy companies, it's valuable. And most of the time these stocks are going to end up running back. So you just have to be careful. You got to make sure you pick stocks that are genuinely good, and that actually have like really good, you know, numbers and really good, you know, data. All right, guys. I love you. Have a good day at school. All right, bud. All right, chat. I love you, buddy. Hey. Hey. Everything's gonna be all right, buddy. Alright. Sorry, guys. My son is, you know. Alright. Yeah, so Supermicro Semiconductors has a new auditor. That's what ultimately changed for SMCI. They have a new auditor. That's what's going on for them, is they got a new auditor, they got a bunch of new stuff going on. And so they submitted a compliance plan to stay listed. The big threat when you're Supermicro Semiconductors is getting delisted from the NASDAQ, right? So like that's the big risk, is that they get actually like booted out of the NASDAQ, they get delisted. And that's a big thing, right? Because one of the things that's giving Supermicro Semiconductors validity is their stance, their current like holdings on the NASDAQ. So look, we were actually absolutely correct about us breaking under the 200 EMA. We should have held it a little bit longer, but we were absolutely right here. We were absolutely right. Look at this breakdown right under that 200 exponential. I'm telling you, my day trading strategies have gotten really, really good. Really, really good. Like I've tweaked my setups. I've tweaked how I trade. I've started to be a little bit more disciplined and selective with how I trade. And honestly, it's just working out really, really well. Look, we called this. Did we not, chat? We told you guys we were looking for a break under the 200 exponential. Here's the 200 exponential. Look at that breakdown finally happen. So, hey, you love to see it. We'll see if it continues. But, yeah, you love to see it. Thanks for the warning on that downside. Yeah, I mean, again, just to show you guys, like, what I'm looking at is this. A couple things, right? Number one, we have this double top up here. We got basically two touches to this. We touch it once, we come back down. We touch it again, we come back down, right? Like, once we reject twice here. Once we reject twice. We reject here. We reject here. Same level. It's not a higher high. It's a neutral high. That's generally a weak sign. And so if we start to ride this 200 exponential and don't break, it's pretty big likelihood that we're going to come back down and start trending. It doesn't matter what we do here. I think, to be honest, what I was really betting on was choppiness. And so what I said was like, okay, we're still towards the top of the range. Here's the top of the range. If we are choppy, and you can kind of see what even people are voting on today, 77% of people think that we were going to be choppy today. If we do remain choppy today, what does that mean for the stock price? That means that we're probably going to come back down, right? Because choppiness means what? Neutral, right? So we have a rectangular pattern here. And if we are choppy, we're going to come back down to where the bottom of the range, which is where we are now. Now, I don't know if I'm going to buy this or not, but I don't know if I'm going to buy this or not. But yeah, it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't look bad. All right. All right, guys. There's the breakdown. So look at Walmart start to fight its way back up too. Nvidia falling down a little bit as well. So if Nvidia remains choppy, usually the market's going to remain choppy too. And look at Bitcoin. Again, I'm back to tell you guys I told you so about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Did anybody genuinely believe that Tyson was going to win? Right? Like, again, you know, honestly, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm bringing this up so people can kind of see the pattern. There's a pattern here. I like patterns, right? I'm a little OCD. I like patterns, right? One thing that you see in stocks is people say, hey, ABC stock is going to go crazy high. It's going to be the best stock ever. Watch. It's going to go crazy. Everybody's building up a community like, oh, ABC stock, guys, ABC stock. Everybody's patting themselves on the back talking about like, yeah, you're so smart. You bought ABC stock. You're so smart. You bought ABC stock, right? Like the whole thing starts to go around. ABC stock inevitably fails. Okay. And then what happens, right? Do people say, hey guys, I was wrong about ABC stock? Of course they don't. Instead, what do they say? They say manipulation. Guys, it's rigged. Manipulation, chat. You know, it couldn't possibly be I made a dumb bet, right? It's just manipulation, you know? Nobody screams manipulation more than somebody that's wildly wrong about a prediction, right? And again, the reason I'm bringing up Tyson versus Jake Paul is you know how many people here told me that Tyson was going to mop Jake Paul? You know how many people told me that? And I told you guys the same thing. Of course he's not. Of course Jake Paul is going to beat Mike Tyson, right? Like, if you genuinely thought Mike Tyson would win, you got to have deeper thought than that. That's as nicest way I can put it. You got to think deeper about things sometimes in life. But again, the same thing happens where they say Tyson's going to win. Tyson's going to win. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then Jake Paul wins. And then what did they say? They say, oh, it's rigged. Manipulation, guys. Manipulation. Like, come on now. If y'all think a 27-year-old is going to lose to a 60-year-old, it doesn't matter if it's Mike Tyson, right? 27-year-old's in the prime of his life, the literal prime. And I don't like Jake Paul at all. I'm sad that I was right, to be honest here. But y'all got to think deeper about this stuff, man. All right, we got 4 minutes, chat, 4 minutes. Yeah, the girl fight was good, but honestly, Amanda Serrano got robbed of that fight. Amanda Serrano won that fight. I don't know how they gave it to whatever the other girl's name is. Yeah, at the very least, guys, regardless of how sad you are, I know, but it doesn't matter whether the contract's real or not. Like, people have to understand. There's like, again, I train jiu-jitsu, right? There's a big difference. If I could roll with a purple belt, if he's 65, I still got a shot to beat him as a white belt in jiu-jitsu, right? There's just a difference. There's a difference in speed, like fast twitch reactions. Like, there's just a difference, man. I know every old person wants to believe they still got it. Most of the time they don't, right? No person that old wants to admit that a young person would walk circles around them in that. Right? No, but you have to look at it objectively. Age catches up to all of us, guys. It really does. Bro, Mike was a world champ, but he's 60 years old, guys. He's 60 years old, man. There's a difference. As you get older, a funny thing happens. You lose power. You lose speed. You lose your gas tank. Right? Like, I was telling you guys this before the fight. All right, just to clarify, I was telling you all this before the fight. Same thing happened. I told you guys exactly what was going to happen. And exactly what I said would happen happened. You know? I even told you guys that there's two possible outcomes. One of them was that they came to a closed door agreement behind closed doors, basically saying that they weren't going to, like, throw real punches. Right? I told you guys, but Jake Paul was still going to win. Right? Like, this is predictable. All right, guys. So we got a minute and a half left before this release here, chat. Not the biggest release, but we do have building permit and housing start data at 5:30 or at 8:30 in about 1 minute. No, not in his 50s either, X. I would say if Tyson was 40, he could probably beat Jake. Yeah, I could make myself look like a world-class boxer if you gave me a long time in professional editing and everything like that. Right? People bringing up Tyson's footage. Like, again, I got a timeshare, I can sell them. It's 8:28. What could be in 4 minutes? Most economic reports drop at 8:30. So nothing's in 4 minutes. It's actually in about 30 seconds. Yeah, y'all hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. I appreciate it. Hit the live button next to the play button. We got building permit and housing start data. I'm going to put up the Vanguard real estate ETF here. But again, this data is not big. It's not really important, to be honest. Like, we're going to cover it, but it's not like the biggest report ever. So yeah, so building permit data expected at 1.44 million. Housing starts expected at 1.34. It drops in about 10 seconds. We'll see what it shows up as. We also have Canadian CPI dropping. That might actually influence markets. I'm going to put the QQQ up here. Canadian CPI data coming out too. All right, and then there's 8:30. All right, so Canadian CPI actually showed up higher than expected. Building permit showed up lower than expected at 1.416 million. 1.416 million. Housing starts showed up lower than expected at 1.311 million. So this might mean more rate cuts, weaker real estate. Maybe the Fed's going to cut more rates. I'm not sure. But again, building permits 1.416 million. 1.416 million. Housing starts 1.311 million. Both of them lower than the expected number. Canada inflation data showed up at 0.4% for October versus 0.3% expected. CPI year over year showed up at 2% versus 1.9% expected. So, yeah. So Canadian, yeah, we'll put all this number up on in the chat. Here's the housing start number. Yeah, I mean, Taryn, you know, again, the big thing, most people that thought Tyson was going to win, again, look, it's all love, but if you genuinely thought Tyson's going to win, you're gullible. 100%. Like, how am I able to predict exactly what's going to happen in this fight? Not just moments before the fight. I told you guys this literally 6 months ago. How am I able to predict that? Right? If you genuinely thought Tyson was going to win, I'm sorry, but you're gullible. 100%. Tyson is 60 years old. It doesn't matter how good of a boxer you are. If you're fighting an old man, you're probably going to win if you're in your prime and you have some boxing experience, right? It's just predictable, right? It's just predictable. Anyways, Canadian CPI showed up higher than expected, 0.4% for Canadian CPI. We're putting this all up in the chat. Yeah, I want to see if the Fed's going to cut. Like, look, so here's the interesting, like, so we had building permits lower than expected, housing starts lower than expected. Canadian CPI showed higher than expected. I want to see what this is going to do to the rate cut expectations here. So again, right now, 60-something% chance that we're going to cut 25 basis points. Again, pretty big chance that we're going to cut 25 basis points. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, guys, you know why? Like, you know why you don't see a bunch of 50-something-year-olds getting into the boxing ring? You know why? Guess why? Because they got old. It doesn't matter who they are. They got old, right? They slowed down. The biggest thing is cardio, right? Like, you might throw some heavy punches in the first couple of rounds. After that, your cardio's done, right? Like, so Tyson throwing a 30-second, 45-second clip of him hitting the heavy bag all hard and stuff. Like, dude, like, yeah, that's probably all he's got. You know why it ends after 30 seconds? Because that's all he's got. And that's what the fight showed, too. It's not rigged. It's just how it goes. Everybody gets old. Yeah, in marketing, and they're a little gullible, I think, but it's all love here. It's all love. Spies break it down. Q's break it down here. Just curious thoughts on Mike biting his glove so much. Mike said he has a biting infatuation, and I believe him, to be honest. Mike seems like the type of dude that would have a biting, you know, infatuation. I mean, he bit. I mean, we know Mike Tyson. Like, obviously, Mike Tyson. I don't think you got to argue this to anybody, right? Do we really need to talk somebody into the fact that Mike Tyson has a biting infatuation? Evander Holyfield? You know, like, think about it objectively. Of course he does. You are right, but the more you talk, the more my feelings get hurt. It's okay, Terry. It's all love here. It's all love. You think it was a skill issue? No, I think it was an age issue. I think Mike Tyson's old, and Jake Paul's not. And Jake Paul's also on a bunch of steroids. And Jake Paul also knows how to box. He's not the greatest ever, but he knows how to box. And so you combine all of those factors together, Tyson's gonna lose, you know. I put money on Mike. It was a bad bet. All right, guys. So, hey, we're watching Nvidia. Again, we got all the data in the chat. Housing starts data lower than expected. Building permits data lower than expected. Canadian inflation data lower than expected. Chat. So, yep, that's the day before Nvidia earnings, chat. Watch Nvidia though. Nvidia's breaking down. Look at the SPY here too. So SPY's breaking down. We have day traded some this morning and we made some money. I'm gonna start to buy up here. We've dropped enough where I think we could get some retracements, but I'm only gonna take 2 contracts because I don't trust it enough here. And there we go. There we go. I will take that. A little $20 bill in 5 seconds. I will take it. Nice little green day so far. We'll see if we can continue it. Nice little cushion. We got that pop. Let's watch the QQQ here on the left side. We're watching. Bitcoin just threw up. Honestly, Bitcoin's close to all-time highs here, right? Yeah, Bitcoin's at 92,500. 92,500. Really, this is futures. So the real Bitcoin's at what? 91.5K. Yeah, 91.8. So it's about an $800 difference between BTC futures and the actual Bitcoin price. Yeah, we're at about almost 92K right now. Almost 92K. The WWE of stocks. What happened with C3 AI? I don't know, bro. C3 AI just lost hype. Oh, it's up this morning though. I'm guessing this is just C3 AI is up because of super micro semiconductors. Like, look, so here's AI. Here is super micro. Right. This looks actually no. This looks like more recent news, right? Let's see. C3 AI's got some type of news story out right now. Yeah, so C3 AI, put at AI news. All right, so C3 AI and Microsoft have forged a strategic alliance to accelerate enterprise AI adoption here. So again, C3 AI and Microsoft, an alliance to accelerate enterprise AI adoption. That's what this news is. So here's the news on C3 AI. There it is right there. All right, so there's Nvidia falling down though. So Nvidia looking weak. I do believe we're gonna get choppiness. If you look at my poll this morning, guys, 80% of people think we're gonna get choppiness today, and this is out of like 420 votes, so it's not a small amount. You know, so yeah, so again, most people think we're gonna get choppiness, and something that'll happen leading up to these big economic reports is that we do get choppiness leading into these big economic reports. We get sideways neutral activity, and so that's usually, if I'm gonna day trade ahead of these big economic reports, that's specifically what I'm targeting, is sideways neutral choppy activity. And so that's what we're looking for today, is sideways neutral choppy activity. Yeah, so I see sideways neutral choppy activity. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep, funded account program in futures. If you want to check them out right here. TopStep, great way to help support your boy here in this channel. TopStep gives you a demo, and they test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. They're going to give you a 50K demo account. If you can make 3K in profit on that with following their rules and conditions without losing 2K first, so it's a 3-to-2 reasonable ratio. If you could do that, they fund you 50K, 90% split, and they've paid out over $100 million to their traders. Honestly, all that excluded here. It's like a souped up demo account. And if you were going to pay for real-time data outside of this, it's going to cost a similar amount. Real-time data in a demo account, it's going to cost about the same, right? But in this case, it gives you more pressure, a little bit more pressure than like a normal demo account. So a normal demo account, you can add to it, you can average in and just not really care. But with this, if you lose, you have some pressure. It's a perfect middle ground when you're learning how to day trade. And most day traders lose. And so if you fund your own account, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25,000, especially in stocks, you're almost certain to lose that. It doesn't matter who you follow, who your mentor is, what course you take, you're probably about to lose day trading. And so does it make any sense to fund your own account in the beginning? Of course not. It makes much more sense to try this out. Most day traders lose, but it's a lot cheaper to lose here. And if you pass it, you still get a 90% split once you're funded, and you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. If you day trade indexes or indices, patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns anyway. And so it's what most pro day traders do. Great way to help support the channel. Great way to help support us here. And I'll put the link up. They are an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased, of course, but honestly, genuinely something that traders can find useful. And so if you want to check it out, here is the link. It helps. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. There's the link right there. Check them out. Always remember, guys, I am not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. You always got to make your own assessment and trade responsibly here, guys. Yeah, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. We do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Yeah, I love you all. You'll have a good day. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. All right, let's get that out the way. I'm not telling you guys you're going to lose. I'm telling you guys that most traders do lose, and that's just the truth, right? You can hide from that truth and fund your own account trying to look cool. Look at the market breakdown here, though, Chad. Look at Nvidia breakdown here. So Nvidia is falling down. Nvidia is under a pretty major support level, too. So if we reject here on Nvidia, I will short the market coming up, too. All right, so look at this big flush breakdown here. Look at Nvidia on the right side just dumping down. Like, look above me right here. Like, people get weird about the floating head, but I could do stuff like this. Like, look at Nvidia fall down right now. Nvidia's falling deep under that big yellow support level here. Look at this big breakdown here. So this is interesting right now. We're also at a double bottom if we look at the NASDAQ here too, right? So if we look at the NASDAQ and we float over here, like, look at this. Look at this double bottom. So here's a bottom right here. And then if we go to the other side, look at this bottom right here. So we got a double bottom support level here. The question is, do we hold under that support level? I don't know. I don't know, chat. We'll have to wait and see. But it's a huge yeah. Nvidia's dumping down here. Let's see if it continues. I should have been Yeah, stuff looks weak. Stuff looks weak. Yeah. I got the magic stream here, chat. Yeah, some people don't like the floating head, and that's okay. Again, it just helps me stay out of the charts a little bit more. Like, I can actually get around here and not block everything, and that's why I do it. So regardless of whether, you know, the only people I've seen complain about it are people I've never seen before that, for whatever reason, I think they're just kind of trying to spark, like, negativity in the chat. Because I mean, if we're gonna, like, if I got a way where I can be on the charts without blocking the charts, that's the freaking way, right? All right, so we are getting a bounce back up in Nvidia here. So chat, look at Nvidia. So Nvidia is bouncing back up right there. Look at Nvidia bounce. So let's see if it holds under that yellow line. So you see that yellow line? This support level is a level that so this support level right here is a level that I've drawn historically on the charts. So I'm not saying it's going to hold, but this is a pretty big level that you want to pay attention to, I would say. So yeah, Microsoft is launching 2 data center infrastructure chips to speed AI applications. So Microsoft is launching some new data center chips. So do you think this is bad for Amazon, or do you think this is bad for Nvidia? Do you think... So I'm seeing this news from Microsoft about them launching some chips. Do you think Nvidia is reacting negatively to this because it's competitors? Look, so here's the news. C3 and Microsoft forge a strategic alliance to accelerate enterprise AI adoption. It's a better view for charts. Hey, thank you so much. We still haven't gotten a big floating head. The head is good. Hey, thank you. That's what she said. No, sorry. I'm a big Office fan, so I can't help but say jokes like that. The Office is like my family's favorite show. Now I could be like stock meteorologist. I know, I'm like a weatherman over here. The weatherman of stonks is what I'll call myself. Hey, nice. Sharkeez. Mahogany John. All right, so look at that rejection, guys. I'm not gonna say I told you guys so. Look at that freaking rejection right here. Right at the spot I said. Again, this is supporter resistance up. As long as it's recent supporter resistance, I keep it on the chart. Why do you keep it on the chart? Because of this right here. Look at that. It literally went exactly where I said it would. Right there. You keep those support and resistance on the charts. And look at Nvidia flush down, guys. Wow. Nvidia's free falling down here, chat. Wow. Look at the big drops. Nvidia flushing. I don't know what to do. It's the low of the day, and so sometimes I short at these levels, but I also don't really trust it. I think we're gonna bounce up a little bit here. I think this is almost too easy. 2 contracts, but it's risky. It's a little bit too, like, the bearish activity is a little bit too obvious. So I try to stray away from anything that's too obvious in charts. Too many people get squeezed out if they're wrong. And if we're wrong, we're gonna have to jump out of this pretty quickly here. I don't want to get stuck in a low of the day. I'm jumping in at the worst time. We're probably kind of flat on the day. Honestly, we made money in both of our accounts yesterday. My best trading is definitely not in the morning. Let's see. Or my best trading is definitely not prior to the opening bell. Like I do really well after the open is generally when I do well. But before the open, like we get volatility here. All right, so we got this massive breakdown here, chat. This massive breakdown. All right, so we actually cracked lows again here, but we immediately rebounded all the way back up. Let's see how long it takes us to bounce back. Wow, what a drop. Nvidia is flushing ahead of its earnings report here, chat. Wow. What a drop here, chat. Look at this. Just brutal. Brutal red action. Look at Nvidia kind of flushing off the screen here a little bit, chat. Under another pretty major support level too. When will it start to turn? Look at this weakness. When will this red action settle? It looks like it's cracking lows again here, chat. All right, so finally getting some legs here and bouncing back after this brutal red action. Look at this brutal red action right here in Nvidia. Just dumping quickly, chat. Just falling down quickly. Stifle maintains a buy on Nvidia though. So this news just came out pretty recently. Nvidia earnings are tomorrow. So Nvidia earnings are tomorrow. All right, so we are flushing down. We got this bounce back on Nvidia here, but it's still a little iffy. So you're talking about Nvidia, Jarrett. Yeah, I mean, Jarrett, if you, are you talking about Nvidia with your 180x thing? If so, you know, you got some math problems, brother. No offense to you, Jarrett, but if you think Nvidia is up 180x since 2018, you know, your math skills could be better. No offense to you. It's all love, but your math skills could definitely be better, bro. Yep, Jarrett, you are wrong. Let's just calculate this. I mean, again, look. Nvidia, guys, in 2018. Let's just look at this, okay? Nvidia in 2018 was about $4 a share, right? Like, listen, I'm not a math expert here, okay? Like, definitely top 3 worst mathematics instructors in the world right now, okay? But 140 divided by 4 is 35. So this thing is up about 30 to 40x. Definitely not 180x. Its price isn't even $180, bro. You know, you're welcome. Anyways, we're cracking lows as we break down now. We are falling down still. Looking really weak. I'm not going to touch this. This is a falling knife. Oh, I'm reading you now. I'm just messing with you. But I got to, right? if you're gonna call people the R word, you know, I mean, the split's insignificant. I'm looking at the historical data. So the split is going to keep everything the same. It's just different prices, like the structures, the ratios are the same. All right, so we're breaking down here. We're down to 20.4s. Still looking super weak here. This is mostly driven by Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, but just to be serious for you, Jarrett, you know, one thing that you got to understand about all this, brother, is that, like, you got to look at this objectively and understand that companies, you're looking at something over a 30-year period, right? Like, not since 2007, but I'm saying if you put up like a 20, 25-year chart, this is a long-term chart, right? Like, if the company finally starts to take off in an age where there's no AI, not really a need for microchips, versus an age where there is massive need for microchips and AI interest, you know, 180x isn't a crazy thought. You know, it's just not a crazy thought. I mean, if we're looking at, okay, I'll put it this way. If we're looking at the company's EPS and revenue ratios, then versus now, they're similar. They might actually be a little bit better ratios now in regards to their price to earnings ratio, in regards to their revenue. And so if, I say this all the time, but if Nvidia had gone up so much without an increase in revenue and without an increase in EPS, that would be one thing. But their revenue and margins increased dramatically with this. So again, is it justifying the price? I think the PE ratio is about 60 right now. So it's not a good PE ratio, but it's also not like a crazy PE ratio either, like that we see some stocks that have 200-300 PE ratios. We don't have that with Nvidia either. It's 60 or 70. That's where Tesla's at. Tesla has a PE ratio similar to that. Amazon over the last few years has had a PE ratio similar to that. And so, you know, a 60 PE ratio is not the craziest thing ever. It's pretty normal right now in current markets. No, ridiculous is subjective, but it's all good. All right, chat. Nvidia goes to 127.70. I'm in the boat. Yeah. Learn to day trade. Do not fund your own account. Almost all day traders lose money. I lost thousands when I first got started. I wish I had something like this because it's like a middle ground. It teaches you how to trade. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. You're only down $49 for the base one. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account. It teaches you how to trade under pressure is what this does. You got some pressure. You're risking something. In this case, you know, $49 is the base one. If you pass it, you get rewarded 50K funded account with a 90% split. 90% split's similar to funding your own account. And then you can build up profit if you're good enough and withdraw as long as you follow their rules. But if you fail, it's not the end of the world. So it's a beautiful middle ground. And in futures, most day traders should be trading futures. You get a lot of people that want to day trade stocks. Indices are usually where most pro day traders day trade, like the SPY, the Q, and you can trade that price action in futures. No PDT rule. You can day trade, buy market, sell market. It's very similar to day trading stocks. It's just what most pro day traders do. It's what most people learning how to day trade should try, in my subjective, biased opinion. I'm biased for sure. Yeah, if you're new, you should never be trying to like do it yourself and fund your own account. Most people are going to lose thousands if they do that just trying to look cool in markets. And most day traders absolutely lose. And so if you fund your own account $5,000, $10,000, guess what? You're about to lose that most likely. Again, if you don't, you're a super outlier, and everybody thinks they're going to be that super outlier, and almost nobody is. So just take it slow, trade smart. don't risk too much in the beginning. That's the easiest way to put it. Understand all this stuff right here. Understand all this stuff right there. And yeah. Of course we're streaming Nvidia tomorrow. Of course we are. Nvidia earnings are chaos. So of course we're streaming that. That's like a big stream. Again, we did a poll today. 77% of people think we're going to get choppy behavior today. And I tend to agree. Look at this breakdown though, man. When's the time to buy it up? I'm going to buy one contract. I'm going to take one. I don't trust anything over that. So we're going to buy Uno. And then we're just going to try to be patient. And if we lose, it's not the end of the world. But we're going to buy one. Try to catch a falling knife. Because I think eventually we're going to start coming back up. Now we got a little bit of time. Are you guys red or green this morning, chat? You guys red or green today? All right, watching Nvidia bounce up a little bit here. We'll see if it holds. Green, red, red, a little red. Red. Big red, always green. Green plus 100. A nice taker. Flat. Flat is good. It's Nvidia earnings week, so I'm assuming the market's going to be kind of like sideways and neutral leading up to tomorrow afternoon, with the big earnings reports coming out. So that's my assumption here. I don't freaking know what, like, if that's actually what we're going to get or not, but I'm assuming we're going to have choppy, apprehensive, fearing market action. Although I do not want to get caught in this low. We're just going to go ahead and cut it and take our big L on that trade. Not a big L. We're probably down like 30, 40 bucks on the day. Honestly, I've been losing a little bit in pre-market and then making it back after the opening bell. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. And say that's what we're gonna do. We made money yesterday. Hey, what's up, Rodney? Hey, thanks, bro. All right, look at this breakdown here, guys. So this is not just Nvidia causing this breakdown. Microsoft is dumping down here today too. So Microsoft is down. Some other stuff is down too. Meta cracked low. So Microsoft, Meta breaking down here, looking weak. Tesla falling down a little bit as well. Amazon breaking down here too. So most tech stocks are falling. I'm not sure why. Also, guys, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitter at Beginner Trades. Chat at Beginner Trades. Give your boy a follow if you haven't already. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. So I think there's one thing that can immediately improve almost everybody here's trading. Chat. I think there's one specific thing that can immediately prove almost everybody in here's trading. Trade less. Be selective. Find one or two systems and attack only those systems and just wait for it. Right? Just wait for it. In my opinion, that's what everybody needs to do. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin's doing crazy stuff here, Chad. Look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin futures got up to 93,500. What's up, Yair? Supermicro Semiconductor Insight, please. Supermicro is up big today, right? The reason Supermicro is up is because they finally detailed their plan on staying listed on the NASDAQ. They got a new auditor. They found an auditor that was willing to look at their books and audit the company. And they now have set their plan out, have publicly put out their plan to stay listed on the NASDAQ and not get delisted, as well as they found an auditor. And so because of that, Supermicro Semiconductors up a big percentage right now, a big percentage. And yeah, we'll see if it continues. So we were correct about the bounce just a little bit early. Nice change of interface. Thanks. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so like I said, man, I was rolling last night, bro, and they got this kid who literally every time I roll with him, he creates like a scene, right? Like same thing happens every time. He gets arm barred, and then afterwards he taps super late to the arm bar. I'm talking like literally full extended arm bar, refuses to tap. He's been training just as long as all of the other people at our gym, but he's becoming kind of this like joke to us because anytime you roll with him, he refuses to tap. And then when he finally taps, he creates the biggest scene you could ever create. And he lays on the floor and he grabs his arm and he says, ah, and he milks it. And everybody's like, oh, is this okay? Is this kid okay? And it's like, dude, this kid needs to tap, right? So I roll with him again last night. Same thing freaking happened. Arm bar, you know, literally fully, I didn't even crank on it this time. Like I literally held it there and just kind of looked at him and he didn't tap and he tried to squirm out of it. And so I just kind of put a little bit of pressure on it. And then he does the same thing, but he throws his biggest fit ever. He lays on the floor and just kind of, ugh, I'm so hurt, you know? And so I go up to him afterwards and I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like, you know, like honestly, I'm not, because you should have freaking tapped, kid. And like I go up to him and say, hey man, I'm sorry. He doesn't say anything. He just walks away, right? Like, dude. And I talked to my friend Lance. Lance said he did the same thing to him. He said he got in a triangle, refused to tap to it, you know, tapped super, super late to the triangle, and then afterwards walked around like his neck was hurt. And then when Lance went up to him, apologized, he did the same thing to him. He just ignored him and walked away. Like, kid, this ain't the sport for you, bro. It's really not, you know? Yeah, I'll never roll with this kid again. All right. Now we're kind of showing choppy flat action here. So the market is, and when I say kid, he's got to be at least 20, you know. Oh, he's super emotional. He's just got to be. But it's frustrating because it's like, look, you know, one of the things you learn in jiu-jitsu is you got to tap, right? Like it's time to tap. Like if an arm bar is like straight, like fully locked in, like straight, you got to tap. If somebody gets me in an arm bar and it's fully locked in, I'm tapping immediately. I'm not letting it go. And so, you know, and if I do let it go, it's 100% my fault. No, I'm just never gonna roll with him again. If he's like out there causing scenes and like, you know, I'm just never gonna roll with him again. He's too emotional. He's in his head. I don't know. I think he's just a little bit too sensitive for jiu-jitsu. I really do. No, I'm just never rolling with him. All right, guys, so we're bouncing up a little bit. Nvidia's popping up. It's at 140s now. So Nvidia's making a little bit of movement here. Hey, nice prime. Are you really like, okay, look, serious question. Oh, never mind. The day before Nvidia earnings. Chat, the day before Nvidia earnings. Should I stick around or should we do a day trading show today? What do you guys think? Day trading show or should I stick around for pre-market news? No, it's frustrating too, because like, and the reason I'm like venting to you guys about it is because it's like, dude, like I'm actually very, like, I don't want somebody going around my gym acting like I'm just, you know, too rough. Like, dude, you know how many people I roll with, bro? I remember rolling with higher belts, and I'm the same belt as him. I'm a white belt, he's a white belt, right? And I remember rolling with purple belts and just getting just destroyed, right? But after I get destroyed, I laugh about it. You know, you got to laugh at it and say, haha, you're much better than me, and that's okay. Or haha, I should have tapped earlier. You know, I've never tried to make anybody feel bad about submitting me ever, right? So the fact that that's his go-to is just kind of like, all right, bro, like, come on now. Like, this ain't the sport for him. It really isn't. Should I do a day trading show today? Let me see. Should I do one? Let me see. I don't know. You know what? We'll do a day trading show, but we're just going to change the title here. Instead of pivoting to our own. All right, guys, so we're going to day trade today. We'll see if we get anything good. All right. All right, so Nvidia going. It's a little bit too obvious of a short. And if we lose on this one, I really just got to wait until the opening bell. All right, so we're flat right here. I'm gonna cut half of this off. I just don't like that. I'd rather take a small loss here and then let this one contract do something than sit on it. The other problem is Nvidia's actually kind of moving up. I don't want to get stuck in that either. If Nvidia starts to run up, I don't feel like losing more here. We got about 15 minutes into the opening bell, so we got some time. Are you shocked at how good they can put you off balance? Who? Purple belts? Oh, 100% is an ego problem. Well, no, because I went up and asked one of like the people that work in my gym. I was like, hey, what should I do in this instance? And he basically was just kind of like, look, it's on him to tap. If he's not tapping, like, you know, he's got to learn. He should be tapping much earlier. All right, so we're almost flat here. Yeah, I can't stand people that don't tap to arm locks. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Yeah, we're over the yellow line. I see it. The yellow line's just my own support and resistance level, though. At 8 a.m., why did the market take? I'm not sure. There's a couple reasons. Yeah, I should have just stayed with my choppy bet. We ended up losing some money closer to the open. We'll do better closer to the open, I think. Like as we get closer to the open, we usually tend to do better. And then tomorrow's Nvidia earnings also. So we're approaching the 200 exponential right now too. Again, I'm just sitting here tight. I don't want to take anything major now. Not until the opening bell. I think we'll probably go down here now too, but it's just not worth getting chopped out until the open. We'll trade larger once the opening bell hits. What's choppy about this? Dark Mind says. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, like I said, I got a little bit impatient this morning, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not going to be perfect. This is pretty choppy, right? Look, even if I would have drawn this correctly, like, look at that. So we're literally exactly choppy. If we put up a 5-minute chart. So, I mean, Dark Minds, I mean, no offense, brother, but are you really asking me what's choppy about all this? Where's the chop, bro? I don't see it. Where is the chop, dude? I don't see it anywhere. No, it's all good. Yeah, the last couple trades were definitely dumb by me. I ended up just getting bored in pre-market. You know, so... But we made money yesterday, so we're kind of flat over the last 2 days. I just gotta wait until the opening bell. For whatever reason, I just get bored in pre-market and click buttons. Something I certainly gotta work on. And yeah, just to clarify, what I was trying to do was shorting into this resistance level. You know, so after I ended up cutting it and getting out, but it ended up breaking over it. And Nvidia, on the other hand, ended up just kind of driving the NASDAQ back up some too. You know, so I mean, me shorting at the VWAP, I mean, we can criticize it, and like, yeah, hindsight's 20/20, so it's easy to say after the fact, like, oh, you shouldn't have taken that trade. But like, as we had a big breakdown and then a bounce to the volume weighted average price right here. I think a lot of the time we're gonna get that. We also had a move back up. So not only did we have that, but on Nvidia, we were bouncing back up to this big resistance level here. And so I think the trade idea made sense. It just didn't work. And you really don't want to be in the habit of like hindsight criticizing somebody if they make a trade idea and it just doesn't work out for them. You know, like it's normal to be wrong in markets. Most people are wrong, you know, at least roughly 40% of the time, at least. Most people are wrong more than that. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, no worries. You got any predictions for Nvidia? I don't know, man. Nvidia, it's hard to tell, right? Earnings are coming up. The volatility is high. I think we'll probably get a big range, but choppy lead up to earnings tomorrow morning. So I think we'll get a big range, but choppy lead up to earnings. I think we'll probably be up and down heavy amounts, but sideways overall, if that makes sense. And then after the earnings, I have no freaking idea. I really don't. Predicting what they're going to do for earnings, it's incredibly difficult. Nobody freaking knows. People are going to act like they know, but nobody knows. All right, so yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, y'all can like again, I'm okay as long as you're respectful about it. Like the only people that really get banned here are people that are either disrespectful about it or like, or people who, when I look at them, they're just sitting around waiting to find something wrong, you know. It's unfortunate. Like, I imagine the type of person that's got to sit around in a live stream just desperately trying to throw somebody off for like hours. Like, that's like that person's fallen down like a really tough time in life, I would assume. But, we get them. We get them, All right, so now we are breaking down under the 200 exponential. We're still pretty flat on a 5-minute chart. I like looking at the exponential on a 1-minute chart, though. And so look at that rejection off of that 200 exponential. So we were right here too. We just didn't quite hold on to it long enough. My big problem is I take two or three contracts when we're moving and then just, oh snap, I'm on Bitcoin, bro. I've been trading Bitcoin right here. Oh my gosh, dude, I've been trading Bitcoin, not the NASDAQ. I'm dumb. Yeah, no, you're good. I just traded Bitcoin. Of course I lost. It's all good. I wouldn't, honestly, I should have never shorted Bitcoin. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Luckily, it's micro Bitcoin contracts. I could only imagine a regular Bitcoin contract making moves, man. That would be scary. Social media has gotten so bad, man. I can't help but, like, social media has gotten so bad, dude. Like, the amount of people that call their ex a narcissist has gone up, like, a shocking amount. A shocking amount, right? Like, y'all know, like, narcissism is not super common, right? Let me look at the actual statistics behind this. The Cleveland Clinic has it between roughly 0.5 to 1% of people. Yet everybody's ex, everybody's ex-wife, everybody's ex-husband is narcissist, right? Apparently, Like, come on now, guys. Like, I get it. You might be mad at somebody. Like, sometimes people, like, the reality is, sometimes people are just selfish. Like, that's true. People are just selfish. It doesn't mean they're a narcissist, though. And I showed people this the other day, and I'm looking at a statistic right now. That's why I'm bringing this up. If we look at Google Trends, right? Like, look at the stats behind people. Yeah. Right. You think you're smart until you... yeah. The topic of narcissism over the past 2004 Like, look at this. Like, the amount of people that are searching for this term has gone up dramatically. Dramatically. So. And social media, everybody's the good person. Yeah. I wish you could trade Bitcoin on the weekends. Yeah, the weekends are really where Bitcoin makes runs and does stuff. Yeah. Buy the dip in narcissism. Here? Might be a good dip buy. You know, those highs are like magnets. All right, guys. So we are here for the opening bell. We got 6 minutes left. We're going to be day trading live like we always do. Day trading futures. We got one more day until Nvidia earnings. Look at Nvidia sprout up though at 141s just now. Look at Nvidia pop. Yeah, it was a joke. Trading. It was a joke for sure. All right, guys. So get ready. We gotta watch Nvidia here. We're gonna try to get some better trades going on after the opening bell. We got 4 minutes left, chat. 4 minutes left. Look at Nvidia, guys. Nvidia just ripped. Look at this. Wow. Look at Nvidia. Look at the NASDAQ. I think people get selfishness and narcissism confused. For me, a true narcissistic has zero regard for others and invalidates everything about you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell whether you've really encountered one or not. Like, I don't know. I think the biggest thing is like they want to confuse you and mess with your head. Like, that's the biggest like sign, more so than like selfishness. Well, like what I look for in my kids is empathy, right? I want my kids to be empathetic. I want them to feel bad if, you know, like, and care enough about other people to feel like, you know what I mean? To want other people to do well and to have empathy towards other people, right? Like, that's the big sign of like psychopathy, narcissism, you know, sociopaths, all that stuff. Like empathy, like do you show empathy towards other people? That's the big test, I think. And that's what I test my kids with. I try to make sure they're empathetic. That's why getting your kids a freaking dog is a good idea usually, even if it's a pain, because dogs will teach people to have empathy, you know, care for other beings, you know. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Hey, we got 2 minutes left. I'm pausing all my trading until 5 minutes after the opening bell. Sorry if I'm yelling, but I'm gonna pause my trading until at least 5 minutes after the opening bell. MicroStrategy is gonna hit $1 trillion. We'll see, bro. We'll see. Need Nvidia to rip up so it can slam down during the 9:30 action. Yeah, I mean, it's right over that level here, Chad. It's right over that level. We'll see if it holds. Again, I'm not saying. I saw your botany joke, Sam. I just don't know what a I don't know what that plan is. I would get it a lot more if I knew what the plan was, but I don't. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not a very good gardener, and I have a nickname for my wife. I call her the plant murderer because she goes to Home Depot or Lowe's and she buys up hundreds of dollars worth of plants in an impulse and has me bring them home and set them up all around my yard, and then gets really busy in life and doesn't water them. And so I dub her the plant murderer, you know. And so, yeah, just not a good gardener myself. All right, guys. Hey, we got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. All right. All right. I feel like Mickey Mouse with these hands, you know. All right, guys. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, let's do this. All right, here's the opening bell, guys. Ding, 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 ding. There's the opening bell. Here we go. All right, Nvidia bouncing right at that 141 level that we drew. Look at that, directly off of that spot. Oh. Posh, huh? 4 o'clock. We'll stream it all live. You'll be able to tune in. Just subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, again, guys, we're gonna let the opening bell play out a little bit first. I just don't trust it. All right, so we are bouncing up on Nvidia. Look at that. Look, leave your support and resistance levels up, because look at that. We literally bounced exactly off of that spot. We'll see if we keep it up, though. Still heading up. All right, so the NASDAQ is right around the 200 exponential here. Right around the 200 exponential. Look at Nvidia breaking past the screen here. I'm gonna turn this like this. Yeah, there we go. We'll put Nvidia up. There's Super Micro up there. We'll see. Big rip for Nvidia up there, dragging the Q up. We'll put like Tesla up here too. Look at that run. It's moving. I use the 1 minute intraday chart, Justin, for the 200, but everybody's different. You also have it on like a 5 minute chart as well, 15 minute chart. You just got to use the appropriate time frame. I'm usually scalping off of it, and so I'm using a 1 minute chart, if that makes sense. All right, flush breakdown here. Nvidia turning some, still a little bit too close to the open for me to take a position, but we are rejecting right at that 200 exponential here. We're about 3 minutes after the opening bell. Still got time. Big red candle, though. Look at that red candle forming right now. Wow. Look at that red candle forming on Nvidia, on all this stuff. Looks weak. I mean, let's be honest. Looks weak. I gotta let the time play out a little bit more now, though. We are bouncing directly off of it here. Are we gonna flush down more or retrace back up here for Nvidia? Very close. See what it does. Weakness showing up. battling it here for a second. All right, we're flushing back down too. Let's see if we continue. Big red candle now too. It's kind of back and forth, choppy now. So hard to tell what we're gonna get right now here, chat. A lot of back and forth price action, kind of running over and over again, back and forth. Finally got a little bit of a rebound here, but it's hard to catch anything. We definitely have some red action in Nvidia. It just depends on what if it fights its way back and goes back up, or what happens here. So tough to figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, we could short this, but what crazy price action. All right, so we're trying to be patient here, guys, and just kind of wait it out. Nvidia now breaking highs, though, so it looks strong here. So we got to be careful now. I don't want to get stuck in this, too. Look at Nvidia start to run. Look at Nvidia almost up to 142s. Yeah, well, this price action is difficult. It's ahead of Nvidia earnings. So, we put in a really strong move, and so I think we could just get faked out here. We can also go straight up. Again, I don't know what to get with this price action. I'm like sitting here bored. We'll try to get something better in the books, but we're popping up. Yeah, look at Nvidia just cracked lows. Or cracked highs, I mean. Wow. So we got a big upwick forming candle here. Yeah, so I'm kind of trading small and quiet right now. It's really difficult to gauge. I want to short it, but I think Nvidia also looks too strong. And I see Tesla bouncing back, so we see a lot of bounce backs that are happening since the open. Watch Nvidia here. So I think you gotta pay attention to Nvidia. Yeah, I think John Jones is probably the pound for pound GOAT as well. But I think him refusing to fight Tom's hurting his legacy. But I tend to agree. I think Jones is the GOAT. I don't think it's hard to argue out of that, I think. So I tend to agree with you. All right, Chad, I'm trying to trade small and boring. But to be honest, we have things kind of canceling out both directions here. You know? So we have like... What a run. Look at Nvidia start to bounce here, chat. Wow. What a move. Look at Nvidia crack highs again. It's dragging everything up. Tesla pull it back a little bit though. Well, we get runs ahead of Nvidia earnings. Nvidia's up there. Big movements here, Chad. Big movements. Wow. What a move here. Again, we're trying to be patient. I don't want to take anything crazy, like risky. In my account right now, I don't want to take anything too crazy here. But Nvidia has run up big. I'm wondering if it's time to pull back now. Again, I do think we could have a big choppy range. So we're going to start to take one contract here in the, at the top. But I also think it's risky. And I'm taking one contract at the top because we got this big, long range up there that we could target on the downside down to the 200 exponential. So we're going to baby step into this today. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so we just made a little bit. We're gonna, again, stepping into our trading today after the opening bell. Depends on whether you think Nvidia is going to continue this big bull run that we see now. When that's going to slow down. right, so we are flat here. Where am I missing? Oh, there we go. Okay. We are going to short this again. I think Nvidia is a little bit high. So we're going to short 2 contracts. It's a risky bet, but just 2. I just want to see a small flushed out here that we can take half of this off like that. There we go. Out. All right, so scalping the top of this range. I just wanted to see a small pullback. We'll take it. Slow and steady wins the race here. And so again, if you want to day trade with me, I am on Top Step right now. Top Step's funded account program. Most day traders lose. Do not risk your own money funding your own account. It makes absolutely no sense to. I'm biased because they're an affiliate of mine, but honestly, genuinely much more risk averse way is to try this. If most day traders lose regardless of where you go, it's a lot cheaper to lose here than it is to put up 5, 10, 15, 20K and lose that, which is what most day traders end up doing, is losing their first account. There's no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold. Some currencies patterns are super similar to index patterns or to stock patterns if you trade indices or indexes. Great way to learn day trading. The base one's $49. It's not the end of the world. If you pass the test, you get 50K in a funded account with a 90% split, which is similar to funding your own account. It's kind of the best of both worlds. 90% split, much more limited risk than funding your own account. But again, I'm biased. They give you a demo, test your skill with it. If you pass their test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose the subscription. Genuinely cheaper most of the time than funding your own account. If you want to check out the link, there it is right there. Tomorrow we have Nvidia earnings, guys, and so we are taking it slow and steady. Look at Tesla falling from grace here. I tend to think we're going to get a choppy range today, so if we get another retracement back up, I will short this. It depends on when it happens, though. All right, so there's a little bounce. We're going to short into this pop. We'd like to add another potentially 3 of these, though. So there's one, and we'll add one more, too, if we get a bounce back up. All right, so we've scaled in here. Got to be careful with Nvidia for sure, though. All right, there we go. We're about flat. Take half off just to protect. There we go. There we go. All right. So we just brought ourselves back to green on this account on the day. If we wouldn't have taken that half off too, we would have been much more green as well. And this is a 50K funded account. Definitely top 3 most bias ever in the world. All right, guys. Yeah, it's the day before Nvidia earnings, so I'm guessing we're going to get choppiness. I'm probably going to get out a little bit early today as well, guys. So listen, I love you all. You have a great day. We're green in one of our accounts. We'll come back tomorrow bright and early. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Y'all be safe. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow. Very flat, very neutral today. I'm going to roll out of here. I love you all. You'll have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Nvidia earnings, guys. Nvidia earnings. If you haven't subscribed, do it now, or I'll hate you forever. Try it one time. It might feel good to subscribe here. Everything we do here is free. We don't sell a course, don't sell a service, don't claim to be experts. We don't act like gurus. Everything is completely free here. I also refer myself in plural because I'm just the greatest of all time ever in the world. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, we're slightly green on the day. I'll take it. In one of our accounts, at least we are. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.